Hi YouTube, it's me, Creams Amir. It's them, Seekers Galanti. It's this, Second Wake, episode 85, when we last left our heroes, which is how you know Dungeons & Dragons is started, according to Matt Colville, who, special shout out Matt Colville, just did a great video on Eddie Munson. If you don't know who that is, then you don't have culture or class, and I don't know that we can ever truly be friends. So go figure that out and Google who that is, and then go watch Matt Colville's video on the subject, and it's absolutely tremendous. If you've ever, I talk a lot about not wanting to get political on the stream. I greatly appreciate you, YouTube, for putting up with me and not muting me on my 4 or 5 viewers that I have. But the big thing is, I always want to preach inclusivity. Growing up, I was not a popular kid. I was into like a bunch of weird stuff like Dungeons & Dragons. Matthew Colville put out a fantastic movie / YouTube video called This One's for Eddie. Highly recommended if you've ever at any time felt that you are alone in this world. Tremendous video to watch. I greatly appreciated it. It just offers a lot of insight as to how the older generation can still relate to us as a younger generation, and how we can then relate to them Zoomer Boomers kids. So yeah, as always, you are loved, you are welcomed. If you ever feel less than, join my Discord. Right down in the comments below, right there. You can join it at Kareem Zamir and be like, yo dude, someone was mean to me on the bus today. And I'll be like, what's their address? We'll send them a bag of dicks. Or I'll get my boy Shabby Penguin on it, and we'll just pepper their house with Better Homes and Gardens, and they'll never know what happened to them. They'll be so confused. We don't accept bullying here. We bully back, okay? That's how we have to do it. So yeah, that's my Matthew Colvilleism of the day. When we last left our heroes, they had investigated members of the Barrels, ex-groupie sort of, how do I even speak about it? Ex-confidants, associates, allies, and heroes that once worked alongside the one, the only Mr. Colt Honeycutt, a previous member of the Seekers of Galanti, an original member, a founding member of the Seekers of Galanti, who was slain at the hands of a stone giant. A pyre was held in their celebration, and unfortunately, the Seekers of Galanti were not quite believed that they were true friends of Colt Honeycutt. Battle ensued after finding out that there is a sizable, and I do mean sizable, bounty on not only Velthel Downbay, but other members of the Seekers of Galanti, and as a professional courtesy, it is any mercenary's job to let people know about that. No hard feelings, just business. After questioning the Barrels, threatening their lives, going back and forth on what should be done with them, should they kill them, should they not, should they stay, should they go, if they go there will be trouble. Oh, we could just do song lyrics all night between myself and Cobalt Jones, but I feel we do not have the time. So with that being said, the group decided to allow them to ride out on those silver mechanical horses, on riding across and seeking out the one, the only Captain Colt Honeycutt, aka Lieutenant Lem, according to a number of folks, or so they assume. The group then set down across Bonebreaker's Leap and rode the platform down in their eventual ride into Risska. They've arrived now at the gates of the snowy, blanketed scape of a city that now borders the frigid well, their destination from a rather curious looking note that had arrived within their home and informed the Seekers of Galanti that an item of pertinent interest still lay within the frigid well, and should they be brave enough, should they be possessed of the right stuff, perhaps then they too could claim this ancient and forgotten thing for themselves. As they arrived within the foundations of Risska, they were greeted by a small individual within the confines of the city itself, a rather curious Kenku holding a steaming pile of trash within a very heavy metal bin. It has now jumped atop their wagon and has narrowed its beak across to the nose and brim of Celeste. It squawks and has delivered onto her an omen, a foul thing spoken in a voice unbefitting that of the Kenku itself. And as the small black beady eyes stare deeply into your soul, Celeste, that is where we will pick up right here at the beginning of episode 85 of Second Wake. Celeste, as this Kenku looks down on you, it leans forward and you hear another voice. As the beak opens up, you hear a deep, old, almost deathly voice speak to you from beyond the depths of this Kenku, and you hear, "There is something that must be known.
I must trade! Trade! We must trade! You will give?
The Kenku reaches its hand out to you, its small feathery fingers touching just under your chin, tickling it. It goes,
trade! We will trade!
You hear, again, the voice switch, and you hear this older voice. There is to be something that you must be entrusted with.
You trade now!
What do you do, Celeste?
Pull out one of my rations. Forgot what they were called. Sorry. I'm going to pull out a ration. And... Okay, I give you this, and you tell me.
The Kenku grabs the ration hungrily, sniffs it.
Well, I believe this will do.
It takes the ration, shoves it down the front of its pants. You see the ration bulge out in various different directions from its small kind of cloth patchwork pants. It reaches with a squelch into the trash bin that it is carrying, this steaming filth spilling out onto the kind of benched area of your wagon. The stench is weeks-long rotting and bileful. You can almost feel the heat emanating off of whatever chemical reaction is occurring deep within the pocket of this trash can. You hear, there is something to trade. You must give this to those who are worthy. The Kenku produces a large, almost cylindrical metal object with a heavy-looking top and reaches it out to you. It is covered in grime and filth and steams with the stench of rotted eggs. It is solid in construction and made of a very curious, almost bolt-like metal. You must take this. It is of grave importance. It will serve those who are worthy in their task. Can I entrust this to... What are you doing? No! You hear,
die, die, die!
It holds it out to you.
I'm going to take it. Oh, very important. Okay, no problem. Ooh.
You see the Kenku bounce its head back and forth and goes,
well, tea time then.
And it reaches back into its can, produces a cracked teacup, leans over, spits into it, and slowly holds it to its beak before hopping down from your wagon and slowly walking away. And you hear,
tea time, wonderful time for tea.
And slowly makes its way further into the city.
I think this bird just shit this out.
What is it?
Something very special. Give me a minute, let me check it out. I'm just gonna start like trying to wipe it off.
Sure.
Like clean it up.
Go ahead and just roll me a d4. Straight up just a d4. Easiest thing you could do. 3. You rub the top of this thing. You rub the sides of it, and you feel this kind of top part that seems almost segmented from the rest of this cylindrical object twist and almost slide down like two pieces of plate that now press into each other. You feel it thrum. Power ignites within this object. You hear it rattle in your hands, and then it flies, free from your grasp, slams directly into the front of your metallic armor. For a moment, it rattles for again, and you make me a strength saving throw.
It's a 14.
14. You feel almost this unseen force pull against the other side of the cylindrical object. You look down and you can see the metallic nut that holds the reins of your horses, and your chest heaves forward. You watch as your armor is now linked on the other side of this cylindrical object, the small iron eye nut that holds the reins within your wagon. You sit there and pull back, pull again, but you're unable to free yourself from betwixt this seemingly polarizing force that this object has produced.
just going to like pet it and be like, "It's okay. You just want to drive the cart. Okay, got
You're
it.
stuck chest down on the cart.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great.
You need some help.
Oh, I'm fine.
All right, just let me know if you change your mind.
No. I changed my mind already. It was yeah.
I will attempt to help.
Sure. You approach and you go to the area. You see this like large cylindrical object that has now adhered itself. It's almost stuck to the other side of Celeste's armor. You also see it stuck to the small metal eye nut that holds the reins in place. You reach for it. Cobble Jones, I need a strength saving throw.
Don't break it.
That's a 24.
24. Fails. You reach forward, the rattling of your fingers clicks into the side of this large cylindrical object. They become flattened against it, and you're unable to move or operate your fingers as you feel the metallic rivets of your armor being slunked into an unseen force, sticking now to this large cylindrical object. You are considered restrained.
Some help you were.
Do you both want some help?
We're fine, right? We're fine.
I feel like this is like one of those Chinese finger traps. I'm gonna try to like
A what?
push my fingers in and then
Slide
them
back.
out. So,
Sure.
yeah.
You push your fingers forward, you pull back and slide out. Your hand comes free and is no longer wearing your gauntlet. Your gauntlet's still stuck to this large cylindrical device.
See, figured it out. I do want to investigate the thing now. See if her
Sure.
spinning the top did something.
Yeah, you're trained in insight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, easy enough to do. You've already seen this occur once. You kind of slowly form an opinion, as you probably have in real life, and you use your free, nude koboldian hand that is unarmored and has the lowest AC on your body, and you slowly roll the cylindrical object against Celeste's chest in a counterclockwise direction. Eventually, the two tops of it split, the plates separating. You hear the thrumming erupt out and slowly silence itself, this small hum now becoming quiet. Your gauntlet falls free from it. Celeste falls backwards as she is released from this grasp. The cylindrical object rolls into the cart in the bottom of the wagon.
Oh, my ball! I'm gonna chase after it.
Sure. Easy enough to you kind of just scoop under the bench and you pull back this kind of strange looking cylindrical object. Big cylinder, almost.
And put my glove back on.
Yeah, you grab your gauntlet, put the belts back into it, refasten it, get it nice and hefty. What would you like to do? You stand at the gates of Risska. This entire event now, you can see a few passers-by. While there's not hustle and bustle in Risska, many people seem to head instead for Iskander itself along the Bonebreaker's path. You do note that the city is rather inhabited, and at this point, any action or movement here at the gate has drawn more than a few curious glances from those who call this place their home.
Maybe we just keep moving.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So, where would you guys like to head as you enter into town? You do note there are a number of buildings. You can hear the clanging of metal, the steam echoing out from various areas of the city itself. It does seem that for as frigid and cold as the winds blow in from the well itself, the city has a almost blanket of heat from the various effects and craftsmanship that is occurring here within the city itself.
should we look for somewhere to stay before we go? Maybe looking for any sort of information on maybe a stronger heading other than something in the well.
Whenever I go somewhere and I'm going to be stayed up in a hotel, I like to drop my bags off first.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get settled in, check for bed bugs.
Yeah, we don't want those bed bugs. No way.
Bedbugs would be bad.
We need to find somewhere to stable up and care for our oxen as well.
Very true. So looking for a place to stay within Risska, is that right? All right. So you all make your way about the city. You do note there are a number of small shops. Nothing too fanciful, nothing too untoward or concerning as far as like a large curio shop or anything that is gauche in that nature, anything too fancy. For the most part, it does seem that many of these buildings are made of very durable stone and metal reinforcement. They seem to be tented at the top instead of flattened roofs, many of which help to kind of push the snow that seems to chill over the area free of Risska and melt across the ground. There's almost a general feeling of heat that erupts out of various buildings that seems to help facilitate insulation while within the boundary of Risska. Before too long, you do come into view of a rather sizable, what seems to be tavern, an inn. You look across, and there is a very gaudy looking sign. There is a bright green metallic face, a placard that has been plastered over this very curious looking tavern and inn. It is of a green face wearing a black hat with half of the face has been peeled away to reveal skeletal muscle mass, and it has been almost gorily painted, so almost a hyper-realistic street drawing of such things has been painted on this bright piece of metal. Below it, a placard stating the tavern's name, The Witch's Tit.
I mean, I feel like we have to stay here.
It's like a great place to stay.
I feel like it's a cultural thing that we have to experience.
Can't go to Risska without seeing the witch's tit.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. So you guys are heading in towards it.
Yeah.
Does it look like it has a stable or somewhere to?
Yeah, you look it out. There's a small outdoor stable. You see, curiously enough, bundled up creatures, head to toe in coverings, seem to be working the stables. Many of them just seeming to hurriedly carry pails of steaming water to and from various parts of the stable. You do note, curiously, many of the creatures that are stabled here are rather northern inspired. You see a number of creatures of very hairy varieties, creatures that are more mass and fur than you're quite used to. Even your oxen, according to a few of them, are somewhat dwarfed by the size of some of these. Very powerful great goats and the like are all stabled here, and these small creatures seem to move forward and splash hot water onto the grounds and slowly scrape away the filth and grime here. You can see a black trudging sludge being shoveled and pushed away to the back of this small stable. Meanwhile, the two front doors to the Witch's Tit are closed, but you can see there is a warmth, and you can see the small crystallization of water being broken apart as any type of ice attempts to cling to the doors, yet seemingly rebuffed by the heat and welcoming nature from inside.
All right, so we should probably have someone stay with the oxen until we get that figured out.
I can stay with them.
Alright then, let's head inside and get things arranged.
All right. Do this. All right. So, you all head up. You stay. Celeste stays with your wagon and oxen. In doing so, you all press upon the doors, you can feel warmth kind of resurge back across your fingertips. There is a growing hearth from inside. As you press in from the cold lands back into the Witch's Tit, you look forward and you can see a very humble tavern floor. There is a central bar, but it is not too large, not too small. A fine collection of bottles line its back wall. The various floor itself seems smoothed over. Heavy-looking tiles roam the various tavern area, and there is a heat that seems to emanate out throughout the building itself, both from a large fireplace, but almost all-encompassing, as if something else is keeping the majority of the Witch's Tit very warm in these cold winter months. You look over, there are a number of individuals clad in heavy furs, many of which are peeling off their various layers and setting them upon chairs, ordering drink and refreshment as they move about their day. You look to the back wall, and behind the bar there is but a single individual who seems to work, an orcish man bearing a number of heavy-looking scars across his face, and currently gesturing with a bottle to you. Whoop. Let me see if I can pull it up. But didn't do it. You bastards. I had it all prepped and everything. 1 second. Oop, there we go. Hey, there we go. You see this orcish man missing part of his face, has a number of visible scars, looks to you with a kind of gruff greeting and goes, "Welcome, friends, to the Witch's Tit. You look new to town. First time to Risska?"
Yes, indeed.
Oh, welcome then. Might I be the first person to welcome you? My name is Barnabas Teeter. This is the Witch's Tit. It's because Risk is very cold, thank you. Can I get you something to warm you up? Perhaps a bourbon? Or a whiskey?
Oh, that does sound delightful, but we'd like to get our oxen stabled first so we can get our friend out of the snow.
No problem then. Just have your oxen left outside. I'll take care of it. Pitter and Patter will have it.
You see as they kind of slowly gesture over, there is a long kind of metal cable on the side of their bar. They pull it, and you can hear this small kind of binging sound that rings out from outside the stables. Celeste, you see the two kind of bundled individuals drop their shovels immediately, turn and look to you, and they slowly approach forward. One of them reaches into their coat and produces a large knife and slowly advances on you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna pull out my sword. Excuse me, sir. Sir! Calm down. What's going on?
You will give us your oxen. You will give us your wagon.
No.
Yes.
Not today.
Yes, today.
Maybe tomorrow.
No, today.
Come back tomorrow.
The other one looks to you, opens the side of their coat, and there's a large coiled whip. They slowly draw it. You can see this heavy leather whip. They crack it.
You give oxen today?
At some point during this, I will try to tell her, not knowing what's going on, just be like, "Hey, Celeste, come in." But however long it takes for that
Sure.
to happen from
Yeah.
when he called his boys.
That's fine. You see these two bundled creatures, Celeste, look at you over.
You give oxen now. Yes, you give oxen now. No more delay. You go away.
These are my oxen. You don't understand what they've been through. We've been through together.
We fix what they go through. You bad carer.
Oh! I am their mother now.
You have very slender hips for a mother of oxen. Very painful. You're a C-section, most likely. Surrender your children.
At this point, you hear the door open and Colbo Jones peeks his head out and is like, "Hey, come on in."
They're trying to steal our oxen!
You give oxen.
Yeah, Celeste, they work here.
Huh?
Yeah, those are the guys that were over in the stables. They're the stable hands.
We know stable hands.
No, we no stable hands at all. We stable masters. Half master. Well, I'm other master. Yes.
The masters of the stable. So you can come in. They'll take care of them.
Yes, Ox Mom. We take your oxen.
You didn't even ask their name. How do you know who is who?
Oh,
You see one of them look and goes, I'm Pitter. No, I'm Pitter. And they look at each other and they open their coats, and on the inside of their coats are small name tags. He goes,
oh, I take name tag again.
and hands a name tag over.
Here, I Patter. That's Pitter.
All right, well, this oxen is Titter and that one's Tatter. So,
Pitter
good luck.
Tatter, Pitter Patter.
Have a good day.
Uh,
Catch you later.
The
Be
two-
careful.
The two of them
with my
walk
oxen.
forward. One immediately cuts your harness around the oxen to free it from the thing. They just slice right through the leather. The other one takes the whip and cracks it, and you see it kind of pull apart the small harness that was being held. He goes,
terrible craftsmanship. Pitter Patter, Tit and Tatter. No. Fast friends. Destiny. Was destiny we find these oxen. Your oxen, bad shape. Very bad shape. Pitter Patter, make it batter. Go now, ox woman. Have more oxen. Name them good things. Very good things.
Okay, I'll be back for them later.
Very good. Your husband, very small. Instead of bigger husband, bigger oxen.
Okay. Got it.
Got it. No!
I'm-
Witch's tit.
they both take your
go
oxen. You see them both climb up to the side of your oxen and slowly, and shockingly, the oxen respond to this and very easily follow their instructions. For whatever reason, Pitter Patter, as crazy as these little bundled creatures are very good with animals.
Celeste, I didn't know you were married.
Complicated.
Celeste would like to update her relationship status to it's complicated. So, Celeste, you watch as Pitter Patter go and stable your oxen. Immediately, you see,
Where are my scissors? No scissors, just shears. Oh, shears. Yes, bring them here.
and you hear snipping sounds from the back of the area.
Just gonna go inside.
Right, you head inside. Immediately, that kills my voice. Immediately, you are greeted to the warmth and hearth that is within the Witch's Tit. While the rest of the town may be colder than, the Witch's Tit is nothing but. It is warm and malleable and soft. It is a nice place to be. You look to the back end and you see this orcish man of kind of ill repute look you over and go,
Ah, yes. Did the boys take care of your creatures, your beasts of burden? Ma'am? Hello?
Yeah. They're. Should I be worried about my oxen?
Yes, terribly so. Worried they'll never want to leave? Pitter Patter, very good with animals. You're probably going to be spoiled rotten. Might want to buy extra feed and treats for your oxen. It's a joke.
Oh yeah, it's funny. Thank
What are
you.
you're like a whiskey sour kind of girl? Hold on a second.
and he starts shaking a mixer and starts pouring in various whiskeys and goes,
I got a house special today. Knock you on your ass juice. Don't ask what it does.
and sets up a collection of 6 glasses and pours them over, sets them out in front of you and goes,
Here, warm your stomachs up. It's a very cold day in Risska. Lots of danger. Something is in the wind, they say.
It's a great welcome. I like this place.
Oh,
Belle will
good, as you
take her
should.
drink.
Good for you. That'll be 2 gold pieces a drink.
I'll pay for him.
Oh, thank you so much. The first taste is not free. In fact, it comes with a fee. But anyway, what can I do for you fine folk? You seem great.
We need a place to stay while we're here. We've got a little bit of kind of an archaeological expedition to partake on in the well.
Oh, archaeological expedition. What well? City well? You shouldn't go there. It's infested with rats. I'm pretty sure that's where Francine gets his yeast from. Terrible place.
Well, no, the frigid well.
The frigid well! Surely you jest. No one can enter the frigid well. Not as long as Pagamennos exists. Very good laughter to you.
Pagamemnos?
Pagamennos, the guardian of the frigid well. Where have you? Did you fall off the turnip truck on your way to Risska? You know
No, we
nothing about
just-
people.
Please educate me.
Oh, I would be glad to.
And you see them slowly turn and walk over. They set down their drinks. They wash their hands in a small, warm, soapy bucket. They go and dry on a piece of warm hide and look you over and go,
All right, then. But only just this once. Long ago. Wait. I'm forgetting.
they reach down under the cabinet and seem to grasp something in one of their hands before looking you over and like dead in the eyes. His kind of dead eye rolls in its socket and goes,
Hear me now as I speak the tale of Pagamennos, the fearsome ruler of the briny well. A long time ago, in a land right over there, where the well is, there was peace and serenity.
He reaches up with his right hand, and you see this small little puppet of a very strangely painted green creature, almost resembling a very small version of him.
There was much rejoicing, and they danced upon the edge of the well. There was fishing, and good of it too. Salmon came plentifully from the northern Oscarian Sea. It was a glorious day, for you and for me. But as things change, so do the times. And, well, the realm weavers themselves, it is said, came to covet the great well, a fish of plenty. Risska for a time had been profitable, and it was said to all the land that we scorn such blessings of profitability. We scorn the teachings of the realm weavers, for who were they but pompous people who never visited our small town? Until it was they did, leaving upon them a number of curious things and forcing the peoples from their homes. They began construction on something deep, buried within the frozen, frigid well. For a time, the Riskan people explored.
You see the little creature like go across the bar and start slowly dipping its wooden head in your drinks.
They looked and searched, knowing that the realm weavers had left something in the frigid well itself, but then it was mostly known as the well. The realm weavers did not enjoy this, no, for they had already made their plans for the well, and they birthed a creature of unspeakable horror and anger to protect the well, freezing it over in the process. Thus, the egg was born. Agamemnos, the howling, icing death.
He reaches his left hand up. There is a large kind of puppeted creature up to his elbow that is a bright white scaled creature with heavy wings, a dragon.
Upon its birth, it froze the well true into a slush, and then again into a battlefield. Many in Risska sought to challenge the young dragonling, but fools all they were.
He begins to eat the other puppet.
Yes, they were devoured, broken, and left their families fatherless and motherless, soon only to be but shit across the frozen well. It is said that there is an entrance deep within the imaginations of the realm weavers, that any who could find it and best the great Pagamennos in battle would reap the benefits of what was left here. But many have tried, and throughout many years many have failed, for all die to Pagamennos. Even those known as the chosen of the weavers have been naught but broken bones under the mighty beast, each kill fueling its unsatiated hunger, and truly increasing its power and potential. So I tell you, young drinkers and welcomers to Risska, are you dragon food, or perhaps you're no fools at all, and smart enough to get going while the going's good? Rhetorical question, I don't care. I will say, though, that performance was 2 silver pieces. Thank you.
I pay him a gold.
Ah, gold coin, one for all of you. Thank you so much. That concludes our story time. I also have one about the benefits of washing your genitals, and of course, one about appropriate dinner policy.
Can we hear the one about the genitals first?
Yes, of course. So,
Thanks.
it is throughout a
Wait a
matter
second.
of fact that you should always... What?
These aren't the same.
What? No, different.
I feel like this is one and the same.
No, different.
I feel like you've split your story
Oh.
to try to charge us twice,
What?
when really washing your genitals is part of good tableside manners.
Ooh, see, that's not nice. You can't do that kind
This
of
orcish
thing.
individual leans very close to Goldjens, goes,
Who told you, boy? Who told you about my story splitting? How would you possibly know that? Who are you, really?
I was raised by a fraternity, canonically.
What sort of fraternity were you raised by? Who sent you? Was it the taxman?
No.
Okay, good, because
Oh,
I owe...
it was-
Okay, that's good. Yeah, this is a
It was,
rental.
House Orin.
House Orin!
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the great belchers of the north. House Orin. I have a number of stories about House Orin, such as the piss vinegar water incident, where they drank themselves silly in my bar and then shit all over the place. It's very gross.
Well, then why is it called piss vinegar?
Oh, because it was running out of them, much like vinegar ought to.
Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, when you retell that story, and like the first line or two, you said the word doo-doo. So you may want to try switching up your verbiage.
It's true.
Because
That's
I'm going to be
true.
honest, the second you said it, I wanted to laugh the whole entire time
Oh, true.
because you said doo-doo.
I did say the doo-doo. Well, it's an entertaining story, so I have laughter. It's a thing I will always say to you. I'll look you dead in the eye when I do it. You can laugh, you can cry, you can love. Please, don't hurt anyone. Love each other. Cherish one another. And always tip me as your waiter and confidant. Refills? I'm seeing empty glasses. Good.
sets his puppets back down. This entire time has had a dragon on one arm and a puppet in the other. Sets them down behind the bar, moves over, fills 3 different whiskeys and just some type of drink into a shaker, shakes it up, fills everyone's glasses.
Goes, right then. So rooms, board, and business and risk, I suppose. You said archaeological, but that can't be true. What are you really here for? You want here with child services, are you?
No.
Good, good. That would be bad for some people. Not me. I don't have the kids. But other people in town might have kids.
Right.
Right.
Well, our interests are archaeological. It is in the Temple of the Well.
Temple of the Well. There is no temple in the well, ma'am. It's like a hole
Really?
in the ground. Yes. The legends tell. Do I have to get the puppet?
And he pulls back out the dragon puppet.
Goes, they just dumped a bunch of things in there, we think. And then they froze it with this angry dragon. Pegamenmus.
You said they built something, though.
Oh, yes, they built a temple to their folly by releasing a dragon on top of it. Look at how ferocious this puppet is.
And now you said there is a temple.
But it's not a temple, really. It's like a... Maybe there is a temple. You know what? No one's actually survived Pegamenmus. So realistically, my information could be very outdated. You know, you're probably right.
Well, we'll find out. Or at least endeavor to. Or we'll be dragon food.
Oh, on the subject, would you mind signing, a waiver?
For?
Well, I will rent you your rooms free of charge for as long as you wish to remain in Risska, under the condition that anything you leave here becomes mine once you don't return in a month. Or if we can prove you're dead. But no one's going out there to prove you're dead. You'll just be frozen peoplesicles. I've seen it too many times. Except this one time, Pagamenmos froze somebody, then threw them, and they crashed through the ceiling right there.
We're not paying for that story.
No, he just looks at it and he points, and there's a thatched part of the roof with like a big piece of metal that's been like soldered hastily in place, and goes,
yeah, fell right through, shattered into 30 pieces, and at first I thought it was amazing, but then the heat started to melt them, and they stunk like a dead person ought to, because they were dead. So that one we confirmed right away. I didn't have to wait 30 days. But in your instances, free room and board, not free food or drink, if you sign a waiver saying that I get to keep anything you leave here, including your oxen. Well, technically, I won't keep your oxen. My wards will keep your oxen.
That's why you're worried about child services?
No, they're of legal working age. For what they are.
How much are the rooms if we don't sign the waiver?
They're rather expensive. I don't know that anyone here could afford my rooms.
looks you up and down, goes,
4 gold pieces a night?
That's fine.
Wait,
for
what?
me.
You can afford that?
That's highway robbery.
Barely. I can barely afford it.
Oh, because you're part bear. I can tell by your antlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm astute in the natural arts.
I can tell.
Yes. You have a way of things. You might say you have a sense of nature, a bear sense.
Yeah. My aunt was a bear, you know.
Yes. I've often said that I can be found by bears because I'm so sweet, much like honey, your primary food source.
You mean
Yep.
like a bare necessity?
A bare necessity. I've never heard that, but that is interesting. Yes, very interesting indeed. I guess I'll have to just grin and bear it. It's a joke about bears.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
That's pretty
it's a
good.
simple bare necessity that
There's nothing
everybody
simple
has.
about it. This is several gold pieces we're talking about here.
No, several, yeah.
Let's not be crazy. So how many rooms can I get you settled up with, you high-rolling philanthropist of archaeological designs? I don't believe I got your name. I gave you my name. Anyone? Or are you all no-named? Were
I'm
your
Celeste.
parents... Oh, you're Celeste. Okay,
Yeah.
I was worried. I was worried you were a bunch of... well,
Ox mom.
Oxmom. Celestial Oxmom. Very good, very good. Yes, I was worried you were a bunch of MCSs. A lot of those in my day.
MCSs?
MCSs, yes. Individuals possessed of a robust and rotund sense of self-importance. We call them main character syndromes. They think they're better than other people, that they're built different, that they're here to achieve great things. And then they go to the frigid well, and they get frozen and beaten, cut into pieces. It's amazing! And then I get to keep all their things.
I feel seen.
Main character syndrome. So they think the world revolves around them? With
They
the
think
story?
that they were born to be great heroes and creatures of legend, that somehow freezing to death by dragon breath is not something that can happen to them. No, that being gutted by a bandit in the night would never happen to them. That stubbing their toe and getting gangrene and slowly succumbing to a long fighting battle with a disease could never possibly happen to them, for that's not a heroic death. Very, very MCS, if you will.
I mean,
happens all the
being
time
killed
here in
by a
Risska.
dragon is a pretty heroic death.
No, it's not. It's a pretty sad death. Because everyone in Risska will tell you about Pagamenmos. To avoid Pagamenmos. So if you go doing it, it just means you have a death wish.
Well,
Do you have a death wish?
Yes, I do. I can't help it.
Oh, I can help right now.
100 gold pieces, and he reaches down under the table and pulls out a very crooked-looking Chris knife.
He goes, I'll stab you right in the back. 100 gold pieces, I'll kill you right now. That way you can achieve your dream of being dead, ma'am.
You're gonna need more than that.
No, it's pretty cheap here in Risska.
No, I mean like you're gonna need a different knife. Here, take this one, and I'll hand him like a sword.
It's a rather heavy sword. This knife I'm rather proficient in, mostly with the stabbing motion. This I can't even. What is this? Slashing or something? I can't slash with this. Just sets the sword back down. I can stab right between the pieces of your plate mail with it.
I'll take up the sword and I'll stab like next to him into the wall because it's sharpened at the tip. Because I'm a murderer. No, you can definitely stab with this. Watch.
You stab into the wall next to him, which is the bar, and you crack into a bottle, and just like fucking clear liquid pours. Things.
That is a beautiful vintage of vodka. Why would you do that?
I just take a drink.
That wasn't vintage. That was Tito's. I saw it.
That was irreplaceable. I will demand 5 silver pieces for that vintage.
Oh, okay. And I'll pull off 5 silver and give it to him.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind. You can keep stabbing it if you want. Here, you want the rest of the bottle?
And sets this broken bit of glass and shard in front of you and just a mess of vodka.
He goes, I'm just going to buy another one.
No, I just felt like you were being a little bit ignorant about the sword. It's very stabbable.
Well, that's fine, but this is my stabbing knife. The mayor won't let me stab people with anything other than my official stabbing knife.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small writ and unfurls it and lays it down. And you note that there is a license to kill.
Was that hard to get?
It's pretty hard to get. You have to be a resident. You have to file 3 forms of identification, background check. They make sure you're not crazy. You're not just going to stab people for free.
What's the name signed? What's the mayor name?
Let me pull it up here. See here. I have it. Where is it at? There's too many of these characters. Why? Why did I make a whole house? Why did I do this? Why? Oh, why? Oh, here it is. Yes. The name is Mayor Cthulhu Blackscale.
Okay, signed by the mayor with his seal, which is a talon mark. But I've always said it's strangely in the shape of a dick. Because he doesn't fuck around.
Man,
Aren't dicks known for fucking around?
Not this one. This one is massive and imposing, like a frightening one. Like not a wiggly worm. It's scary. It probably has scales on it because he's
It's
scary.
a dong and not a ding.
It's definitely a dong with many O's. Not a ding at all. But don't be a dingus about it. That's another joke. All right, then.
I don't even think I have one form of identification.
Well, that's pretty bad. You'll never get a license to kill in this town, then.
And rolls up his license to kill and puts it in his pocket.
Goes, so, ma'am, 100 gold pieces. We walk out back. I stab you a few times. You bleed out in the snow. You get your heroic death. I could even make up a story about how I killed your father first. And this was a crime of vengeance, and you should have known the whole time it was me. And then, stab you a few times. Then you stop breathing.
No, yeah, I mean that makes that. Yeah,
We do
that
a
would
whole
make
hero
sense.
package here if you want. I
Yeah.
can send letters to your loved ones, letting them know that I've been stalking you for days, and to come to Risska if they dare meet to fight me. Black Blade, stabber of the tit stabber.
The problem is, most of my loved ones are here.
Oh,
So,
well, if you
spoiler
all would
alert.
like to watch this vengeful quest for our MCS, then that's fine.
No, I don't want to die. I'm just saying, like, I think that we could
Heroic
take
death.
them.
You think you could take me?
No,
Probably. You could probably take
No,
me. I've never really fought anyone. I've just stabbed them to death.
I feel like
on
we're having a
quest.
How many
miscommunication.
people
I'm
have you
just
stabbed to
gonna.
death?
Oh, like a dozen.
Huh?
I've made a lot of gold stabbing people to death. You'd be surprised how many people go to the frigid well. Their whole party's wiped out. They come screaming back, half frozen, realizing they're going to die anyway. And I deliver the mayor's mercy to them. How do you feel about that name? I've been playing around with it for my dagger. Mayor's mercy. Because I've
But
got
I
a license
feel-
to kill.
Well, you're not the mayor, though. Like, it'd be like the tits mercy, you know?
That's a fair point, yeah, I know. The mercy of the tit. The titillating tibular. I need to workshop it. Figure it out.
Caress of the tit.
Tit caress. That sounds a little too perverted. For my taste.
Mm.
Titillating, though. We're back. So anyway, rooms, 4 gold pieces a night. Death warrant, if you want to sign it, that's fine. 100 gold pieces, I'll kill any of you. With consent. Don't want to kill without consent.
It's a very versatile shop you got going here.
It's true. Yeah.
Can I read the document for the if we like die or don't come back?
What? Oh yeah, sure, of course.
And reaches, goes to the back of the bar, opens it up, pulls out a long kind of like, you see like multiple rolled pieces of parchment, goes and pulls one out, closes the box again, walks back over to you, unfurls it. And it's signed by Mayor Cthulhu Blackscale, and it says death warrant. And it allows you to sign away your worldly possessions in exchange for any trade you would like with the owner of the Witch's Tit.
Honestly, I'll do whatever you want. I just don't do kids. Unless the kid's an asshole. I'll do the kid.
So basically, reading this over, it's just like if we don't come back 30 days from the last time that we're seen, then he keeps our stuff.
Yep.
There's nothing fancy going on.
No.
All
It's also written very poorly and shoddily.
Also,
Alright.
how much
I'll sign it.
stuff do we even leave?
Don't know, but it'd be mine.
I mean, we need someone to take care of the oxen.
That's true.
I've already signed the paperwork and gave it back to him for myself.
Thank you. And takes a look at it and goes, "This is a fake name. Kobold Jones. You can't put your race as your name."
Unfortunately, I don't have a way to prove it because, as I said, like 2 minutes ago, I don't have any forms of identification. But I
You
was
wanted by
raised
the
by
law.
no, I was raised by dwarves. Of course, they named me Kobold.
I don't know if that story checks out, but I'll take it with a grain of salt.
He reaches it back and puts a grain of salt on his tongue, rolls it back up, puts it in his box.
It's all right. You can have room 37.
And tosses you a key. It's an old rusty looking key.
It's up on the 3rd floor. Can't miss it. You'd probably like it. It's a bit bigger than you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yours to use with as you please. If I don't see you in 30 days, though. Checking everything inside that room.
Okay. I'll try not to have any vinegar piss in there, and then I'll kind of step towards the back.
You better not.
If
So-
I do, it's yours.
Hey. Free vinegar. So about the rest of you?
I'm gonna sign it immediately.
Morgan just signs it.
No fear in this one. What's a
I don't think I'll leave anything, so.
What's a Quinlan? Why is that a name? Where'd you
I
get
don't
that
know.
from? Where's it from?
From my parents, I'm assuming.
You have parents?
I did.
Oh, you did. Did they disappear under mysterious circumstances?
I honestly don't know.
Have you been a loner your
question.
whole life?
Not my whole life, but
Avoiding the questions. I'm glad you signed
I
this.
said my
Insidious.
whole life, but
Thank you. Tragic backstory, I'm sure.
pretty
Seen it 100
basic. I'm sure
times.
the run of the mill backstory, you know.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. Run of the mill.
No main character energy here.
No, none.
Mm-mm.
A dark and harrowing protagonist that perhaps wants to wax poetic about how they will enact justice upon the world. Just a little bit.
Nah,
Maybe
no,
a,
not really.
a secret that you hold deep within your body that you fear will one day get out of control if you don't have the power to contain it.
Oh my god, do you?
No?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Well, you're just a psychopath then. That's fine.
And goes and puts the
Yeah.
paperwork away.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right.
He reaches there and goes,
Do you want to? You can't have adjoining rooms because his room used to be a closet. I wasn't going to give a full room to a kobold. It's very small. But I give
Sounds
you
like a good idea.
yeah, I could give you something on the 2nd floor. Would that be good?
Yeah, wherever.
Oh, okay. Room 22.
and slides you a key.
Appreciate
Anything
it.
you leave behind is mine.
Absolutely.
JJ will also sign.
All right. Let's see here. These are 2 initials, ma'am. This is not a name.
It is indeed my name.
That is not a name. These are 2 letters.
That's my name.
Is it a street name for illicit dealings?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Will the bard
just-
sing of the great Jujud?
Jujud.
Is that how I pronounce it?
It's
Jaja.
JJ.
Oh, you pronounce it
JJ,
one at a time?
Yes,
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I suppose.
Suppose so.
I guess.
All right, then. Jaja. JJ. Should be Jayjay. That's perfect common, by the way. No one would pronounce this the way you pronounce it. It's 2 letters next to each other like a name would be.
Ah, I suppose you're right. Well, if you want to call me Jaja, that's fine.
Jaja.
Like, seems to draw over
Jaja.
your signature. Goes,
That'll work. That'll hold up in court.
Yep.
Goes, all right, I can give you a room here, Jaja. Let's see here.
and slides it into the box.
Looks over and goes, Got how do you feel about leaky roofs? You seem like the type that likes to brood in the midnight sky. Let water drip down as it fuels your anger, and then turn into a horrifying bear beast and rip people asunder because you've had it so rough, because your secret is you're always angry. Right?
I'm always
He
angry.
figured out so fast.
I know.
I have a way about
the whole
this.
story.
Nothing escapes my eye.
Is there at least like a corner of the room so my books don't get all wet?
Oh yeah, just under one thing, and I made sure to move the bed directly under it. That way it would piss you off more, and you'd be
Oh.
fueled by vengeance.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what? I hear you.
yeah.
It'll be just fine.
All right then.
You picked the perfect room.
All right, room
Mhm.
27.
And hand you a key.
How about the rest of you? Can I get you?
So what happens to the oxen, though, if something happens to me?
They're mine. Well, they're not mine. They're the stable boys. Oh, stable thems. Not really sure if they're boys. I think they're boys. Much
I
better.
mean, the stable masters?
What? Are they calling some masters again?
Well,
Barely mastered a belt buckle.
wait, are they not stable masters? Are my oxen in danger right now?
They're more like stable people. I wouldn't say they've mastered anything.
At least they're stable.
Oh, mostly, yeah. Except when they get drunk. Thimble of whiskey, and they're just useless the rest of the day.
All right. I mean, okay.
Yeah. it's
I
okay.
will sign.
All right. Marigold. Interesting name. Where's that from?
You know, beyond.
Beyond the veil, because you are a creature beyond recognition. I see it, taking on the guise of a beautiful woman, soon to reveal yourself to be an epic hero, and you will ascend upon the land like a furious Valkyrie. Right?
Sure. Can I just have room 23?
23's occupied.
32?
32 has a rodent problem.
What kind of rodent?
They play cards every Wednesday.
We got one of those.
Yeah.
You see Charles like,
All right. Well, what you got for me then?
See, dark and brooding otherworldly creature. How about the attic? Feeling attic for you. Got the decorations from last festival up there. Lots of scary things that go bump in the night. Perfect access to the roof. That way you can just look out upon the starry night and wax poetic about how you're trapped here among our world, but you're so different and unique. And one day you will return to your people a hero. Right?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. And if anything, I'll just jump off it.
Yeah, don't do that. Costs 100 gold to die on the premises. Otherwise, I have to clean it up, and that's expensive. Don't be a dick. The combination is 1, 2, 3. Just a padlock up there for the attic.
Yeah. That. Okay. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah, you're welcome.
1, 2,
And
3.
no one would ever guess it's 2 something.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Most of these people can't count past 2 anyway.
rolls up the parchment, slides it in the box. Looks to Velthil.
Goes, then there was the elf, maybe something. Right.
Something.
Right then. So what are we doing?
I'll just take a room and I'll pay 4 gold.
Looks at the full gold and goes, just one night? You think you'll be done here in Risska in just one evening? It's very bold of you. So you clearly think you're powerful. This will be such an easy endeavor for you to just come and go as you please in a single evening. Are you a forsaken warrior from beyond who has traded their entire arm for unknowable potential and strength, and as you cleave your sword through the air, you separate the very heavens?
No.
You probably want to buy 3 rooms there, or 3 nights. 3 nights would probably be a good idea for you. Getting a 3-night vibe from you.
3-night vibe.
Yeah.
Can I get a deal for that extended stay?
No, not at all.
No?
No, sorry.
Even though I'm overpaying right now?
Overpaying. I mean, 4 gold a night is pretty good. You can have it for free if you sign away your stuff. Upon your death.
I'll give you 4 more gold for 3 nights in total.
You just give me 12 gold, because that's what the room is worth.
No, it's not. We both know it isn't.
Find another place to rent a room in Risska. I'll tell you, I have what they refer to as a monopoly. Bet you didn't know that I was an orc that knew what a monopoly was. Means I'm the
I
only
like
one who
you,
rents rooms.
and I want you to know that the only reason I'm paying you 8 gold right now is because I like you. I'll give him 8 more gold.
Thank you. I also offer like services for 50 gold pieces. Wink. I'd wink at you, but my eye doesn't actually have a lid to close.
Like services?
Yes, that's how I have to say that, because we can't say the P word here. Terribly
Celeste,
illegal.
you remember that book?
Reaches back, he goes, room number 5, here you go.
Thank you.
I legit did not know what we were talking about. I got it now. Don't worry.
Alright then. So, welcome to the Witch's Titch. Enjoy your stay. Your rooms are as they are. If you have any complaints, shove it. I don't care about your complaints. Need any help? Just let me know. I do offer psychiatric services. Listen to what ails you, and allow you to talk about how much better you are than normal people. If you make for the Frigid Well, if you have a last will and testament, I can send that off to wherever you need to be sent off to.
That's good to know. We can have that prepared before we march into our deaths. Do you know a individual that goes by the name of Rattle?
Individual known as Rattle. Rattle, tail and prattle. No, I don't know an individual named Rattle. But there was a gentleman, very sharp dresser, some years ago, came by here, speaking about divine purpose. They had a new lease on life, and they made a rattling sound when they walked. It was very peculiar. Probably a different person.
About how long ago was that?
Oh, goodness, many seasons ago. Claimed they were a captain of some sort. Not quite sure.
Alright. Interesting. I'll give him 2 more gold.
Thank you. Looks at the 2 gold and goes, oh, I should tell you. They planted a flower when they were here. We haven't had the courage nor gumption, the turn of heart, to burn the flower down. It, just a bit northward, out of town, right near the edge of the entrance to the Frigid Well, right before you get there on the shoreline. A beautiful green emerald flower that seems to glow and pushes back any type of frost that might touch it. It's a strange and mysterious thing. We just assumed they had a boner for druidic magic. But, the mayor's a bit superstitious, so we've left it alone. I feel that's fair for 2 gold.
Thank you.
Of course, if you're going to deflower the town, let everyone know first.
Will do.
Thank you.
What's the 2 gold away?
Alright, well, I guess we should go and check out our rooms and then meet back here in like I don't know, what, 30 minutes? Think that's enough time to get settled in?
You well, have fun. I'll be here if you need anything, like drinks or food. Got some food. Got some meat pies. Could serve you. Pretty good. Fresh meat. Right from the butcher down the road. The secret ingredient is cod. Don't tell anyone though.
Is that more like a fish pie?
It has meat in it. So it's a meat pie. But when you bite it, it does taste a little fishy.
Mystery meat. Okay.
Mystery meat. That way people take challenges. There's this crazy bird that goes around town spouting all kinds of new trends and fads. He twits about it. And people come in and go, I want to try the mystery meat pie challenge. And I make a bundle on it every time.
Alright, I'm gonna go up to my room.
All right, have fun.
Bubble Jones sets on up.
Mr. Barnabas, real quick.
Barnaby, not Barnabas.
Barnaby. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Barnabas. What is, who would be a Barnabas? Barnaby. Because I'm always buzzing with the news.
Aha.
Yeah, it's a
You got
joke.
me there.
What's up?
That's a good one.
Thank
Great
you.
one.
I have many jokes. These are the free ones. You can subscribe to my premium joke package. Platinum piece a year.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's a platinum piece. It's a lot of money. I'm sorry, I forgot your MCS's. Platinum
Well, I mean,
pieces
if
are nothing
you're-
for you.
You're like paid talent. You deserve your pay. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%, yeah. I once knew a man who would, for 5 gold pieces, do whatever you wanted. And I mean, nothing was off the table. He would do anything for 5 gold. A platinum piece is like that just for jokes. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. What? You were
No.
talking about something.
Oh no, yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there was anywhere in particular for like supplies.
Supplies.
Do you have like a general store or anything?
A general store. Yeah, it's not really general as a store. It's more of like a very particular type of store. Dwarven individual owns it upside the town. It's Crease's Collectibles. Pay him a visit. Tell him that Barnaby sent you. And he'll call me an asshole, probably. But he'll be nice to you at least.
Awesome, thank you, sir. For your trouble, she will give him a platinum piece.
Thank you.
And she'll head up to her room.
You take it. He takes the platinum piece and like bites it and goes,
Holy shit. Realm Weavers be praised for sending more crazy heroes to us this day. Rich, wealthy, entrepreneurial heroes whose stuff will soon be mine. Love it.
puts the platinum piece in a box.
So, how about the rest of you?
JJ goes to her room.
Get
I'll
you
head
something to eat. Oh, bye.
No, thank you.
Thank you for not. Yep. It's cool.
I'm gonna
Few
follow
words. Brooding type. Appreciate that.
follow Morgan to her room because
Ah.
I don't want to go to mine yet.
The distant and astral love interest following silently behind their passionate nothings. Savor each other, for your last night together may be the sweetest. Let the warmth of your love they're gone. Oh, it was just me, you, and this small rodent creature. What's up?
Fist bumps Charles.
Hi, how are you doing?
It's pretty good. Room's up on the 3rd floor. In is 3 copper coins. If Vinny tries to bite you, he does have the mange, so be careful of that.
Oh, thank you.
It's a Swiss game.
Swiss?
Yeah. Like you play multiple people.
Swiss? Swiss?
Charles just rushes upstairs.
Well, Yes, he's a card player. Pretty good. How are you, ma'am?
Oh, I'm alright.
I'm Barnaby. Nice to meet you, all right. That's the premium jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I gotcha.
I didn't even have to pay for that one.
Your friend paid for that one.
I know she did.
Unlock the premium jokes.
What time of day is it?
Oh, you're asking me. Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah.
It's fairly like into the afternoon at this point, I'd say. You guys arrived fairly early after dealing with the folks there. You got off of the lift very early in the morning, and Risska's just a hop and a skip away, especially with oxen pulling your cart. It didn't take that long at all.
Okay. I think I'll go take a look at my room, and I'll be right back.
All right, then.
Vel heads upstairs. The scene peels down, looks directly at Barnaby, and his eye softly glows, and he goes,
And to all you out there, we'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Come back for more second wake. See you soon. Peace.
And we are back with more Second Wake. I shouldn't do this voice back. Hey guys, it's me, Grimmy Zamir again. Hi, it's me playing it's like the same thing as that orc down there, but not, you know, because I'm a human person instead of an orc person. I don't get bonuses to strength or constitution, and neither does that orc anymore, because D&D 1 has changed the way in which racial bonuses work. Now it's tied to your background. It's not a neat thing. We should probably talk about that one day. And indeed we shall. But when we last went to the break for Second Wake, those are the Seekers of Galanti, the group had welcomed themselves to Risska after an ominous warning from a very strange bird in town. They ventured to the Witch's Tit, which is the only inn in town, and met their rather should I say peculiar? No, I should say like curious owner, right? Yeah. The proprietor of such places, who had informed them of the various dooms that befall those who seek the things and treasures that might be frozen within the frigid well. For everyone here, of course, we do thank you for sticking with us after the break. If you're catching us here live on Twitch and not just rewatching us here on YouTube, we do thank you so much. You level 20 characters. If you are watching on YouTube and you are making the journey to rewatch, I greatly appreciate it. I spend some time to edit those videos and put them up, so anyone who's taking the effort to go watch them, thank you so much. When we last left, the group had retired to their rooms for just a quick cap off to examine what they have before setting out and making plans throughout the whole of Risska itself and proper. In doing so, Seekers of Galanti, you find your rooms to be rather exactly what was told to you. For the majority of you, other than JJ and Kobold Jones, you find a very humble room. A well-maintained bed, warmth that seems to emanate throughout the walls themselves, and of course a small collection of desks and empty trunks that you could store any number of items within, especially those that you might leave behind in the event of your inevitable demise. JJ, you do find the bed to be a bit soggier than you would expect, with a large kind of water stain that emanates throughout the top comforter. It does seem as if this is more of a brooding area. Celeste, you dial in the combination to the attic. You can see a collection of papier-mâché heads and various other materials from a previous festival, something that seems to have involved a lot of puppetry. There seems to be a lot of pieces of puppets that are all strewn around in various states of disrepair, and large signs and spackled buildings. Hanging there, you do note a very large doubled end hammock that sits between the support beam for the entire inn and one of the nearby walls, with a large heavy hook that's been impaled into the side of it. There's plenty of space and room to do whatever you like, and you do find that there is a thatch, kind of a small access hatch that will lead you to the roof itself. Kobold Jones, you walk up, slide your key into the lock, open it up, and you are welcome to what can only be described as a janitorial closet. Cleaned out of all things, with a small bed that seems to pull down from the room itself and just barely edge out of the room itself into the hallway. You're able to kind of just like, sleep there if you so wish, but for the most part, you can also just walk in, close the door, and pass out on the floor if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll make like a half hammock, where it's just like kind of leaning back. Give me there. All right. We're just like leaning back a little bit.
Okay.
And just like barely elevated off the ground. Like, oh yeah, this reminds me when I stayed 2 years on a ship.
We all have a small cutaway and a memory fade as we go to that memory of Kobold Jones being on a ship.
It's just like a Family Guy cut where it's like 1 second.
Yeah, it just cuts to you sleeping. There's no way to tell if you're on a ship or not. You're just in a hammock.
Yep. And then just go back.
Yeah. You head back downstairs. You again see the proprietor of the Witch's Tit. For the rest of you, anything you guys are doing in your rooms?
No, JJ's gonna head back down after she checks in.
All right.
Also the same.
Okay. Celeste?
I'm gonna strut around in my room like the Grinch does when he's getting ready to go. And stretch out, and then I'm gonna leave my room.
All right. You do a Grinchy stretch, and then head back downstairs. You slink and slunk to the icebox. Slunk. Phil, what would you like to do?
I'll just like do a once over the room, see if there's any spots that were made to be listened in on or whatnot.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
24.
24. You look over the room, pat the walls down, check under the bed, look all manner through the trunks and various, like, tapping on the various wooden materials in the room. It doesn't seem like there's anything here that would say that anyone would disturb you. For all intents and purposes, it is just a room.
Head back down.
All right, head back down. The group reconvenes in the lobby of the Witch's Tit. You see the proprietor look over and go, "Go and enjoy the rooms." Good. All right then. Well, good luck doing whatever it is you're here to do. I'll be here if you want to get drunk after, or to, take your stuff.
Maybe
Brandishes.
both.
Yeah, brandishes his crisp knife and looks at Celeste and goes, "Offer still on the table if you need to." Yeah. Really got to know on that. In case you need it.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. If you want, you just want to feel alive again, I do offer services just to stab you fatally, but then I leave you alone. You can heal yourself up and show your wounds to people and say, "I was attacked by assassins."
But I do get attacked by assassins, so why?
But this one would be like, you choose to get attacked by assassins. You could say, "I really want a cool scar on my neck," and I could cut you right there.
Okay, wait, but hear me out, because now I'm confused.
Yeah, sure.
By choosing this as a path, is that not choosing to be attacked by assassins already?
Well, I'm not an assassin. I'm an innkeeper.
Not necessarily are they assassins either. Some of them are kind of just like dickwads.
Ah, yeah. No one wants to say, "Here lies so-and-so killed by a dickwad." So, try not to die to a dickwad. Kind of ruin your whole legacy.
That's fair.
It's actually kind of a cool headstone.
It's a terrible head. Who would want to be... Why would you write the word dickwad on your headstone?
That's probably what I would be saying as I'm dying. You dickwad!
Oh, like a last word kind of thing. Here lies the kobold. You dickwad. Brilliant.
Killed by a dickwad.
Killed by Sir Dickwadian. Gotta class it up a little bit, man. Tombstone, not a freaking tattletale journal. Alright, what? If you need anything, let me know.
Thank you.
Of course.
If anyone is unhappy with their accommodations, I won't be using the bed in my room, I'll only need the seat, so I know some of you might have taken some that weren't so affable. You actually want to get decent sleep. So you're welcome to it. Otherwise, do we want to go check out this shop?
Sure. I was just seeing, in case anyone had an idea of things that we may need now that we know that there's a dragon.
Does
Just
anyone
kind
know
of
where
hoping.
Charles is?
Oh, he's gambling. Or eating Swiss.
Alright, but hope that these rodents aren't like citizens or something like that, where he's gonna get arrested for murdering them for cheese. Because I think that's probably what he would do.
If that happened, I think that there would be no survivors, so we could probably get off on a self-defense.
Or maybe it was a duel.
Because I don't think there's many rats that can take Charles.
Okay, that's fair. I feel better now.
Yeah, I was hoping that the shop might have some items that help against the cold if there isn't an apothecary in town.
Yeah.
I think that's really what we have to look into. See what else. Maybe if there's other shops. I'm not sure how much else is around here. We can take a walk around and see.
Certainly. Or maybe even someone else knows more tales of the Frigid Well.
I'm a bit curious about getting a message from Rattle to hear that they were gone a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of sounds like this place attracts adventurers to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems that way. I'm also interested to know what chosen came up here and failed too.
How far away is that flower?
A ways north of the entrance to the well. I don't think we want to futz with it or go near the well until we're ready to deal with what's potentially there.
Agree.
I've heard that dragons can shapeshift, so
Mm-hmm.
for all we know, the dragon could be the flower.
You know, never heard of a dragon shapeshifting into a flower myself. Mostly like super attractive people is what they like to try and be.
Really?
Yeah, you know, they like to look hot, seductive, that kind of thing.
What's more seductive than an emerald flower? It's a perfect aphrodisiac.
What?
Basically, in Koboldian culture, you eat green flowers to get really, really, really erect penises.
Why does that do that?
I don't know. It just does.
That's,
That is.
highly educational.
Mm-hmm.
Kobold, thank you for that. Who wants to go shopping?
Yep.
So heading, Jesus, heading from the Witch's Tit, you guys do know of Crease's Collectibles that was pointed out to you, kind of given direction on. Are you guys just walking the city itself and looking for just stuff in town, or what would you like?
Yeah, I kind of want to take a little walk around and see if there's any other places that jump out that might have, especially potions or anything like that. Other unique stores.
Okay.
Yep.
You know for a fact that there is you start walking the premises. You know that there is an innkeeper who kind of is your half orcan or full orcan friend who runs the Witch's Tit. As far for general store items, didn't really have a lot of things to say other than food, provisions, things of that sort. You note there is a bakery in town, a butchery in town. There is a tannery that you can see. You do note there is a general smithy. It seems to be a small workshop. There is a collections store that seems to be rather robust. The mayoral office, of course. There is a what's called as a curious collections area, and it has a large kind of fish hook over top of it. It's currently closed and has a sign over it that says "Out to Lunch." And past that, it's all just like very small, like food stalls and vendoring things. Risska doesn't tend to get a lot of commercial business, so it's very compact as far as for trade goes. It seems as if many of the people here make their living just living as frontiers people and have lived here generationally for quite some time.
Is either the collections one you mentioned, is that the one that he mentioned?
Yeah, so there's a Reese's Collections. a curio shop, it looks like. As you walk up to it, you note that it has a number of like painted designs in the windows that seem to be like the facade of jewels and the like, but they're like painted with actual paint on these clear glass windows, almost like you'd see for like holiday Christmas shopping and the like. The outward facing of it seems rather kind of how to truly describe this. Not run down per se, but very much like money was not spent on the outward appearance of the building. It's got a singular door, and it seems to be a sizable building, but nothing to like write home about. If anything, it kind of fits what many like small independent businesses might own and operate in a major city, whereas this is like their curio shop.
And then there's another one that has a closed sign on it.
Yeah, it's got a big angling thing. You look it over, and when you're around it, you note that there's a number of mackerel that are hanging in the window. It seems to be a type of fishing area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shall we have a look in this collector's spot?
Yeah, maybe we can find Celeste some armor, and if not, there's also the smiths.
She has that rather unique armor.
Oh wait, no, that's right. She bought that fancy armor on the
Yeah.
lift.
Remember about earlier today? Feels like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
It was a long, long lift. It was rough. Okay, yes, never mind. She's got armor. Jeez.
Do you think they would have, like, there's something that could protect, like, just a part of me from the cold, or does it have to be, like, everything? Because I want to kind of search around in this box more, but every time my hand's almost frozen, so I don't want to lose it. No offense, Phil.
Well, I mean, any cold weather gear might help with that. I'm more looking into things that might help us resist draconic ice. But if
Yeah.
we had an item that provided that, it would also provide you protection from cold of the box, most likely.
If
Didn't
you
know
just
if, like,
some like mitts.
so I was thinking, like, a glove or something would work, or
Okay, but I'm gonna
do
tell
you
you
think it
something.
has to be magical?
No matter what John says, don't get the fingerless gloves. Okay?
They're really cool, and they help it when you're trying to ride something, because then you
They're
can
pointless. What are they gonna do? What are they doing for you? Nothing.
my
They're not
fingers
keeping your
be cold?
fingies warm.
They provide good grip for your palms. I have really greasy palms, so if I'm trying to drive something, it's sliding all over the place.
You could always get like those mittens that are convertible that are the fingerless mittens. Then they pull over and you've got both. You've got mittens and fingerless gloves.
I always see those as on the end of a hoodie.
A hoodie?
Yeah.
Today.
You're the queen of Celeste.
I've heard it. So
Too many giggles.
That was good. That was good.
Oh no.
I'm gonna
Let's head
die.
inside and take a
I'm
look
like,
at this place, shall
I'm
we?
crying.
Just didn't know if I needed a glove or like a potion or something.
No, all you need is gloveless mitts.
Gloveless mitts. They just cover your
perfect.
fingies.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for those.
So then, outside of the
Go
shop,
explore. Hmm.
are you guys going inside?
Yes.
All right. You all enter into this small curio shop. It is tightly packed, covered in knickknacks, various items strewn about the area. There, you immediately note that it is rather like tightly packed. There's no like real walkways. As you enter in, you're kind of in a one kind of roomed area. The bulk of the building seems to be far past this large counter that kind of emanates out from the area. There is a heavy-looking scale that sits teetering on one end of this long kind of barred area. Various, as I said, along the walls, knickknacks and the like, clutter the wall space, necklaces, earrings, rings of various denominations, even bits and pieces of broken weaponry, hilts, daggers seeming to miss their scabbards, scabbards seeming to miss their swords, and just a wide variety of just random assortments of items. Sat behind this large-looking bar, you see a dwarven individual. And load. Nope, load. There we go. You see a dwarven individual sat back behind the bar. We're going to fix this here. Yes, that works. There we go. Small fixes. Who sees you all enter and goes,
Oh, well, wonderful day to you. Welcome. Lucretius Collectibles. My dear friends. What brings you in today? What might be your purpose? Hello? Are you real people?
Do you have any gloves?
Gloves? Yes, of course.
reaches down behind the counter, pulls out a pair of mittens.
Just recently worn. Brought in today. You might say they're new.
Well, if they're recently worn, wouldn't that be used?
I'd say they're newly used.
You mean freshly used?
Sure, we can say fresh. I can spray them down if you'd prefer.
Are they still warm?
Yeah, take a look. Why don't you have yourself a bit of a feel on that one?
He presents the gloves to you.
Did the last person just not like him?
Well, I think the last person has a thing about them that they'll always say that if the money was right, they would sell their own gloves. I believe they wanted no less than 5 silver pieces for the gloves.
Morgan, do these look like they'll work for what you need?
Yes, take a look. They work for any occasion. One size fits most, in fact. Take a look.
And they take the gloves and put them perfectly over their hands.
Look how nice these gloves are. I can barely feel my fingers.
Takes the gloves off. Sets them back down.
I'm sure it'll work, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll fit.
One size will fit most. If they don't fit, I have a secret to tell you how to refit them.
You have a secret to refit them?
Yes. Ancient secret passed down to me from the great dwarves of the mountain.
And I'll grab the mittens and kind of lay them on my hand to see if they fit.
Oh, they're a bit
Not putting them
wider
on.
than your hands, but you look at them, they're also a bit shorter fingered wise. They do seem perfectly sized for a dwarf.
They'll stretch out. Got a bit of cotton in there and whatnot. It'll probably
But what's
put
your
on.
secret, just in case these don't fit?
Well, I can
the
only
ones
sell you
want
the
to.
secret if you're willing to buy the gloves. No point in having the secret without the gloves. No point in having the gloves without the secret.
Does anything look wrong with them, or are they just normal gloves?
You look them over and no, yeah, they seem like very well loved, like mittened gloves. There doesn't seem anything like shady about them, other than maybe their origin.
Great. Oh, I'll buy them.
All right then, 5 silver coins.
And I'll hand it over.
Takes the silver, looks it over, and goes, "Look at that, paying customers! Well, very good then. What else I find for you fine folks? Apologies.
I want the secret first.
Oh, the secret. Here's the secret. If ever they are a bit too big, douse them in a bit of warm water, and then dry them quickly. Shove your hands inside once they're drying, and they should shrink down around your hands.
That's a great secret. I appreciate it.
Not a lot of people do their own laundry these days, so it's a bit of an interesting one, huh?
But what if they're too small?
They'll never be too small. You always stretch them back out. Also, I need to inform you that all sales here are final. Enjoy your gloves, ma'am. I know
Thank you.
they're a great pair of gloves.
They look cozy.
Yes.
Do you know by chance from personal experience or?
Oh, yes, I happen to know the previous owner, rather personally.
How personal?
I'd say that the person who made them wanted them to be known and loved as any gift ought to be. A gift of their craft, crafted and made for a name day that has long since passed, and passed down here to be sold today for 5 silver pieces.
Oh my gosh, you must have really loved your gloves.
But they're not my gloves. This young lady owns those gloves.
Are you gonna miss them?
Not at all. Not at all. Look at this other pair right here. And pulls out another pair of gloves. Puts them on. Goes,
Do they look similar, like the gloves?
They look the same, but of different make. Like different colors. They look, all these gloves do look nice, but they're handmade. And you can tell, like, as you're holding your pair, they are well loved. And they look, and there's stitching in the kind of wrist that say DC on the embroidery. So, what brings you into Risska?
You know, I think Miss Vel had, or our friend here had, called it an archaeological dig, which...
Archaeological dig. Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Very good.
In the well area.
The well area. Ah, yes. The well of town. Risska's well. Deep within, they say that yeast grows, and is used to make a number of fanciful things. I wouldn't recommend investigating too far in that. A number of townsfolk would be awfully put off if adventurers started climbing down into our well and digging out all the yeast.
Is it like y'all's gold, essentially?
So, personally, no. I don't have a need for yeast. I do buy the bread that is made off of it, and it's not terribly bad. But, I just would worry for you. The baker's a bit wild.
DM,
Yes. I'm sorry, yes.
can I do an insight check? Is he... Am I getting the feeling that these people are being off-putting about the central well, and that it might have something more going on than it being a joke?
Yeah, go ahead and roll insight on that. That's actually fair.
$26.
26. You get the feeling that, yeah, like there is a bit of off-putting, and to them, they feel that there is danger in the city as well. Whoever this individual is that's collecting yeast out of it, there is a bit of fear and trepidation in the treble of their voices, and there's a bit of uneasiness and shakiness when they're discussing collecting yeast from the well. You don't get the sense that it's like a grandiose thing, but there is like, you can probably surmise that these people have been threatened by this baker more than once for interacting with the city as well.
Okay, gotcha.
So, what other fine things can I get you? I've got rings. I've got a number of curious necklaces. They might fit any of you fine ladies. Swords, perhaps. You seem well equipped. Many of you are wearing armor, even. Might you be adventurers? Heroes from beyond the veil? Huh?
Something like that.
Descendant from Bonebreaker's Leap, to our small habitat of Risska. Well, it'd be a good one. I could say I'd offer you any number of things. I've got full suits of armor if you need that. I've got weapons and equipment that have been passed down to me over the years. Things I've collected here and there.
Do you have anything that would help protect from the cold of the frigid well?
The cold of the frigid well. The well itself, the frigid well itself, I can't say if any of my items would protect from such a cold, unfortunately. I know the items would survive the experience, but the previous owners don't tend to make it. So, yeah. I mean, all the items would probably survive, or so. What might you be in the neighborhood of, ma'am?
I have a quick question.
Oh, yeah, of course. Go ahead and ask your question.
So, people go to the frigid well and obviously get like frozen or eaten or something like that, right?
Destroyed.
By the big dragon.
Spagamenmos, a most fearsome white dragon.
So then my question is, how do y'all get the stuff back?
Oh, trade secret, I'm afraid there, lass. I would tell you about it, but I'd be out of business if I were to tell you how I come by these curios and trinkets. You certainly can understand from a business standpoint. There's no point in telling you how I romance the stone, as it were.
Gotcha. I guess I was assuming that maybe you and Barnaby traded or something.
Barnaby! Oh no, the old orcish fella. No, we go back and forth. Barnaby is more in the services sort of way. He's got how to say this, rations, climbers kits, various sundry goods that individuals might need, inns, rooms, and the like, food stuffs. I tend to collect a number of the curious things that come through here. Identify them and put them on display here in my curio shop. Anything and everything you might need, I probably have, or even a way to get the things you might have, or might need. Yes. How about a diamond, so you can propose to your loved one? I could do that for you.
Or revive them in case they die.
What? Oh, no, a diamond would not revive you in the event of your death at the frozen well. Pagamenmos has a predilection for freezing victims whole. That way that even if you were to attempt to revive someone, they would be encased in ice and then slowly die again, only to then relive their suffering slowly, almost frozen behind glass, as they watch you in horror, aghast, then be frozen, broken, and beaten yourself. Makes for good fun. Every so often we invite some of the children out. We all get our viewing scopes and go view and look and watch foolhardy adventurers make the rounds across the village of R'hll. But who knows? Maybe you'll be the one in a million that'll make the journey to the well. Yeah, maybe.
It's kind of interesting, because in order to get revived, you need to be touched!
Do you touch the shopkeeper?
No, I don't.
Oh, you reach out and he's like, I feel like something was supposed to happen at the end of your fingers there, boy, and just nothing ever really happened there. So,
No, I just felt kind of like I got you, but...
Yeah, I don't truly know how the revivifying magic... I just know that...
It was a stretch.
Oh, it was a stretch. Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's fine. Good to stretch. Stay limber. Yeah, no, of course. Nothing worse than being all locked up before you're frozen to death. Yeah,
Would
what,
you know if you have?
oh, yeah.
Would you know if you have any magical items for sale?
I have a number of magical items for sale. What are you in the neighborhood for, lass?
Potions.
I don't get none of
items
those.
No.
No potions,
Well,
sorry.
what do you have?
I got some rings over there and some necklaces over here, and oh, I got one of these little wind-up things. They're pretty cool. And he reaches down and pulls out a small tin soldier and winds it up, and it slowly rattles forward and walks. Just look at that. It's not pretty magical.
I'll go and look at the
Eh.
necklaces and rings. Are they labeled or anything?
No, they're literally just on hooks all over the various side of the store. A few of those have magic in them.
Hmm. Can JJ inspect that toy really
Yeah.
quick?
Sure, go ahead. Go and give me an investigation check.
Uh, 14, please.
14. You look over the toy, and it is of marvelous construction. You can tell just by looking at it that it is very intricate, and it has a lot of gnomish flair to it. From what you can see, it seems to be a small clockwork device that was likely made by a tinkerer or some type of artificer. It contains a number of moving parts and gears that, by the key in the back, winds it up with a various number of springs. You get the sensation that somebody who is far and above possessed of skill, other than this dwarf, created this item.
What's the story with this this toy?
Not a toy there. It is a device that can trigger a number of traps. It is known as a finder familiar. You can wind the back of it, set it down on the ground, and it'll walk forward up to 15 feet away from you. That's about how far you can wind it. And it'll trigger any traps upon the floor for you. It's said to be able to survive most anything.
That's pretty interesting, actually.
I'd like to think it is. Yours today, 15 gold pieces.
Oh. Okay. I will think pretty heavily on that.
All right, you think about it, and I'll give you a deal if you want to buy other things as well. Going to do a bundle. Happy to sell multiple things.
So what do these rings and necklaces do?
Oh, various things. If you pick one out, I'll tell you what it does. Some of them make light. Other ones clean areas. That necklace there, that's what's got the wing on it. That one there. It's pretty neat. It blows a small gust whenever you enter a room.
Majestic.
It's heroic, even.
Can I just look over and see if there's anything that stands out, kind of as better than just like a simple trinket of magic?
You would know well enough that anything that would be more than just a trinket would not be within grabby range of most people in this town.
Okay.
From the looks of the shop, most of these items are fairly common magical items. They do have telltale signs of arcana, like he's not kidding about it, but they all seem to have rather curious uses or very niche cases. He kind of just points out a few of them, and you just get the feeling that like these are all like various sundry items that you'd come across in your adventuring trade that you might then use for like trade for money at this point.
I just wasn't sure if he might have like had something that he didn't realize was.
No, you get the sense, especially with this individual, that they, much as you're trying to find out with Risska, there's not a lot here to do in town. So most folks are very focused on what they do specifically. So then, what are other things I could get for you? I don't have any potions,
You said you had to worry about the cold or something like that sort? I tell you, instant campfires. Bit of a curious one.
You think that would help with being frozen alive by a dragon?
No, but it would help to warm you up after you don't get frozen by a dragon on the rare chance that happens. Who knows? You could be the 1 in a million that could happily, and finally, defeat, defeat Agamemnos. Sorry, I've got a wee bit of a cough that's been going around Risska. It's a Risska rash. It's horrible. I won't show it to you to save your eyes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, no worries there.
How much is an instant campfire?
Instant campfire, yours today for 5 gold pieces.
How much space does it take up? How large?
Oh, they're bundled. Here, hold on a second. And he turns into the back, and you see like a small curtain go back and comes back not even 10 seconds later, and has a small like bit, and it's a bag that seems to be this kind of like leathery looking bag with a stick sticking out of the top of it. Holds it forward. He goes, you just you light the top of it here, you throw it on the ground, boom, instant campfire.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, there you go. You collect your gold pieces, and you can write down that you have an instant campfire. It is an item that once lit, you can throw it and deploy it, and it makes a 5-foot fire, crackling in one area.
So if Pagamemos is so like big and scary,
Yep.
why doesn't it just come into town?
Well, I've thought of that myself for a number of years. I'm assuming it's afraid, mostly, of the people of Risska. We're made of tougher stuff, don't you know? It's a bit of a weird one. I'm kind of going in between here. We believe the legends say that Pagamemos was birthed with a singular purpose of guarding whatever the Realm Weavers bestowed upon the Frigid Well. That a number of secrets, both arcane and mystical, lie beneath the surface of the frozen well. But it's an old wives' tale. We do think, though, that if he were to come across land, might lose some of its draconic might, or something of the sort. Not sure, to tell you the truth. It's mostly become a bit of a, well, almost like a visitor thing. We really should market more about, come see adventurers frozen to death at the Frigid Well. We could sell t-shirts. That's a good enterprising business. I came to the Frigid Well and all I saw was dead adventurers. That'd be kind of good.
I survived the Frigid Well.
Oh, I survived the Frigid Well. That'd be pretty good. We could, if there was a part of the well that you could step on without alerting the dragon, that would be a profitable venture. But unfortunately, I've seen someone so much as dip their toe against the frozen lake, and that was it for them. Plucked up into the sky, thrown into the heavens, and splat! Came crashing through a roof. Poor bastard.
Oh yeah, I've seen that roof.
Oh, you've seen it, have you?
Yeah. Staying in that room.
Oh, you're saying... No, this was a different one.
Oh.
The one at the end, they froze to death, ripped from the frozen well, and then hurled into town. Probably had to have been a quarter-mile throw. Hell of an aim on Pagamemos. That was crazy.
Great.
Yeah. I think the current record is something like 300 and something to none. Pagamemos is kind of undefeated at this point. But who knows? You could be the people of legend to finally defeat the dragon.
Has anyone tried to talk to them?
Talk to who? The people who die? No, I mean they come in town.
Pagamemos.
You talk to Pagamemos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One feller did. rather tall, handsome-looking, had this beautiful lute, and would say that no beast could resist their otherworldly charms. They had this rather peculiar-looking codpiece that they would rock and roll as they gyrated their hips. It was pretty interesting. They attempted this, and Pacamenmos came down and bit them in half. I've never seen something quite so violent. The entire front of Pacamenmos' face was covered in their viscera and blood, and it was not a pretty sight. Their hips were still jiggling as they dropped to the ground, though, so I'll give them credit. Hell of a performance.
You know, they always just go right in and say, "Come at me.
Yeah.
I'm seducing you," but never ask how they're doing.
Oh, yeah,
They
no.
never ask how the dragon's doing.
No.
Nothing. They just want to get down to business like that.
I mean, you could...
This is common.
Yeah, no, a number of individuals have said that they are going to try to seduce Pagamenmos. And it does not work. I'm assuming they're some sort of, I don't know, maybe asexual dragon or something, and they don't quite care about seducing bards or what have you. Or maybe they have a loving, family down in the well or something. I'm not quite sure. Could be any number of things.
Protected.
Yeah. But I hear tale all the time. There's a number of folks that say, I'm gonna diplomatize the dragon. And then their head gets bitten off and thrown onto the beach. Pretty bad. Yeah. Real bad one. Yeah. Have you ever met a white dragon before, perchance? Very irritable creatures. Tend to be hyper-violent. At least Pagamenmos is. Once saw him kill an entire family of rats because they decided to hunt on the well.
Oh.
Crazy.
The well is completely frozen over, right?
For the most part. Although I have seen one fellow started making a run for one of the far eastern edges and fell through the ice. Don't know if he froze to death at that point, but I never saw him again. Some people still say you can see his reflection in the ice right where he fell. I don't believe it, though. I've never seen it.
Huh.
Ah.
Sorry, how old is Pagamenmos at this point?
Oh, centuries old at this point. I mean, if you're to believe the stories that are told by old Barnaby, the dragon has been around here, I mean, longer than I have been around, some several centuries, and has an association with the Realm Weavers. Gods rest them. And I guess they were the gods. So who rests the gods when the gods are... Anyway, yes, it's a rather precarious circumstance. There have been a number of people that have bayed legend into us, saying that Pagamenmos is a quite fearsome beast, but we don't need reminders of that here in Risska. It's kind of a daily habit of life. Number of wizards, speaking of prophecy, have come through, died. Bards, speaking of their heroic tales, knights and adventurers alike, those seeking to prove themselves and make a name to finally be the one to slay Pagamenmos. Each and every one of them, frozen, beaten, thrown, or torn asunder. You don't truly have an inclination to go to the frozen well, do you?
I mean, it is kind of why we're in Risska.
Well, I'll pray to whatever gods you still worship, whatever the Weaver's chosen, that you've found good, wholesome love to. I will make that prayer for you, my friends.
Hey,
I'll even
just
donate
like-
to the church. Ah, yes, sir.
Just like a random little thing here. Have you heard of anybody that goes by the name Rattle?
Of what?
Goes by the name Rattle?
Rattle. There were a fella came to town, some many years ago, that everyone said you could hear rattling when they walked around. Rather peculiar. Memory serves right. They planted something near the base of the frozen well before leaving. Said it was the blessing of a captain. Never really looked into it. Not gone near the flower myself. But it seems to be immune to all manner of, the frost that emanates from Risska. Rather curious thing.
Alright, thanks.
Of course.
So might there be any sales that we can make here for you, friends?
I think I'm okay, but I appreciate your help and your time.
Of course. If you're making it for, Frozen Well, do you happen to have a timetable of which you might be attempting your run?
Did you have something in mind?
No. We make a sport of it here in Risska. A number of folks will bet on how long it takes for Pagamimos to tear you to shreds and freeze your remains. Last time we had a group come through, a couple of months ago, a few months back now. They were very headstrong, thought they were the strongest things that ever been seen. Pagamimos beat them within a few minutes. I won a handsome sum from a number of individuals here in town. Traded quite a bit of coin for it, too. I just want to know so that we can tell the rest of the town, so we can all watch your performance. In the event that you are victorious, of course, the whole town will sing your praises. But, of course, if you fail, then you'll at least provide free entertainment. Many of the kids like to cheer for their favorites, by the way. Not for nothing here, but, Mr. Purple, I think you would be an outstanding favorite. You're very small and toyetic. Not the kids like that. Good stock for hero look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what all my exes say.
Everyone likes to root for the underdog. I personally would put my money on the large woman. He points to Celeste. Like, she seems like maybe she might be able to survive a hit from Pagamimos, in which case that would look really interesting, and a few folks might even paint your picture, which would be very interesting as well. Right before, of course, you inevitably die.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
No, of course.
Listen, when you go to make your bet, just try not to bet too much money, okay?
No, it's not a bet of how much. We typically all come together and we bet ranges. So there's never been, like, we don't bet on an individual. That'd be insanity. Instead, what we end up doing is we'll bet on, about a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, how long it takes Pagamimos to find you, kill you, and ruin your entire lives. Typically, I aim for about 2 minutes. It's the average. Doesn't pay as well, but, you know. Although I did lose a lot of money a number of decades back, there's a group that made it almost 10 minutes. Wild.
What was so special about that?
They had a, rather old man, a wizard of some type, I think, and he had prepared a spell that created a barrier, this type of unseen force, and they hid underneath it for quite a bit, but then they were uprooted and eaten alive.
They just hid in the barrier for 10 minutes?
Yeah, so they had fended off the beast for quite some time, and he had done something to make his spell work quicker. Made this almost unseen dome. It's rather impressive. And he thought he was safe there for a while, but Pagamimos has a way with the lake itself, the frozen well, the frigid well itself. He can break through the ice, much in the way that any fisherman might, and arrive from underneath, and apparently there was no protection underneath it, and sunk the entire dome, so they just never emerged back again.
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, they sunk right to the bottom. Some people said you could still see them for several minutes, but I don't believe them. We pretty much paid out right away once their little area sunk, because the top of where they were at froze right back over. So.
Gotcha. How often do weavers come through and try and... Weavers chosen? Come through
Weavers never, just the one time when they dropped the egg off of Pagamimos. Weavers chosen. I'd say we get, probably half dozen a year, give or take, maybe more. Some years it's more closer to like a baker's dozen. You get about 13 folks or so brave enough, typically in groups of 4 to 6.
They usually claim that they're part of an adventuring party, or they're chosen by the gods to be saviors of this and that or whatever. And then they come roaming, chests out, strutting. Every so often, one will have a very impressive magical weapon that I've always wanted to covet myself, but it's very difficult to get things back from the Frigid Well once Pagamenmos has had their way. Again, we're very fortunate whenever Pagamenmos will throw people back into the village. They're typically laden with all sorts of goods. Brings a lot of prosperity to the village. Town. Well, guess we're city now. We're nearly at 100 people. Huh. How about that? Fun thing of the day.
So the Weavers came, brought this egg,
Yep.
handed over, and said, "Hey, defend this."
We're not sure what they told it. We just know that they hatched a white dragon there. And from that point on, what was previously the fresh well became the frigid well, as the small dragonling froze the well over. And even then was a feisty, fearsome beast, seeming to possess of divine power and ability far beyond the scope of any rational person. I do hear tale that in the early days, they mostly dropped boulders on people. But now Pagamenmos is quite grown and able to fight claw and fang to any sword or weapon.
Well, we don't know why the Weavers dropped the baby dragon here.
I mean, I'm not quite sure why the Weavers themselves created most of the things, but I'm not one to really ask questions about that. Those godly types have some type of plan, as you know, and it's not for us to question such a plan. It's just for us to make entertainment, profitability, and see individuals like yourself attempt to challenge a great dragon that they left behind.
Do you believe that challenging this dragon would be challenging the Weavers themselves?
Oh, now that's a loaded question there. I, personally, will be quite honest with you, I am not a devout follower of the Weavers, per se. We of Dwarven heritage, especially those of us throughout Mount Barzulin, will often find worship in things. While there are a number of tenets, and we do believe the Realm Weavers were truly divine beings, I do not believe they were the saviors of various races. I've heard story about one of them championing the humans, and I was never really a big fan of that, personally. Giantkin were good folk, honest, hard-working folk. I don't know, truly. I think that, to many folk, Pagamenmos is a plague upon the land, and whatever the Realm Weavers left behind is worth its trouble. I've heard tale of a floating city of fortune far to the south, much in the same way. A collection of things left behind by the Realm Weavers, hidden behind folks, and of course, any time that you tell folks not to look for something, it's going to be their nature to do so.
Alright, well, I think I'm good here.
I'll go ahead and take that trap toy.
Oh, of course, yeah. 15 gold pieces, I believe we said, yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Here you are.
Thank you.
So you can write down that you have the toy familiar. It does exactly what he says. It winds up, and at a full wind, it walks 15 feet forward. You feel it in your hand. It's about 10 pounds, which typically is enough to set off any traps.
Awesome, thanks.
Mm-hmm. I do appreciate the business here, folks. I don't believe I ever got your name or association. I terribly sorry. I'm Donovan Crease. Nice to meet you.
Celeste.
Celeste, very good. You're the leader of this fine group, this retinue of heroes. Come to save us from Pagamenmos' fury.
No. I was just curious, had questions, that's all.
Oh, just curious about the part. Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. Yeah, no, happy to help. If there were anything I could do for you, simply let me know, and I'd if it would it bolster your chances to survive Pagam. Do your best, then I would certainly beseech ye.
If the dragon did leave or pass on, are you saying that everybody here would be happy about it?
Oh, very much so. Risska, in times past, was a very profitable center of industry in Orskath. There was a lot more people that wanted to live here, because they weren't under the shadow of a crazed dragon that at any time could just decide that its domain needed to expand further than the Frigid Well. A number of people left because folks were murdered. Also, the fishing's pretty dried up at this point, and even though the catch of the day comes from the river that feeds in and out of the frozen Frigid Well, it's not quite a nice way to live. A number of us here who have stuck it out primarily survive off of the legends and tales of Pagaminmos and adventurers who are foolhardy enough to challenge them. The city was a beautiful thing from what my ancestors say, and it would be nice to finally have the beautiful rivers reopened within Orskath. And, well, be a city being proud of again, yeah? Regardless of the inclination of a terrifying white dragon, it, in all honesty, would be a hopeful thing. You might want to speak to the mayor about that. They've got a wild scale up their ass about it.
Oh, really? Is the mayor hard to get a hold of?
Oh, not at all. Their office is open to most walk-ins. They especially make room for those who are foolhardy or foolish enough to challenge Pagamenmos within the Frigid Well.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Of course. Oh, you might want to tell them you don't want the executive package. They'll know what I mean.
Okay.
You wouldn't know anyone else in town who might have anything that would help against Pagaminmos?
Oh, if I had anything here or knew of anyone in town that could help against Pagaminmos, it had probably already been given to adventurers before you. Most folks bring their own things. They understand the danger, and they come seeking adventure, glory, or what have you. Some of the most powerful, trained, and possessing of iron will individuals have come here. I will say, if you happen to either find a shelter away from Pagaminmos and their wrath, or manage to somehow defeat them, I mean, there'd be a wealth and a history of items that have probably been sprinkled across the Frigid Well at this point. You'd have your pick of the litter for a number of useful trinkets, I'm sure.
Indeed. Well, thank you.
Of course. Happy to be thanked. If there's anything you happen to need, come on back. I've always got a number of curiosities, I should say, up for sale to the right people. Happy to use your gold before it's frozen in your coin purse. Just a phrase we have around here. But it's very literal, because you'd be frozen to death, and that... Never mind, I don't want to dissuade you any farther. What'd you all like to do?
Check out the bear.
Do we want to talk to the mayor tonight, or... Because you mentioned timing.
Up to you. You guys let me know.
Timing for what?
Not wanting to go too late?
You?
I understand. I was thinking in game.
Oh.
Out of the game.
No, it's 9:45 right now, Kobold Joe. So if you have an early meeting, we don't want to keep you super late.
Yeah, I guess I'm good with ending here then. That way we don't get washed a bit of that, because I'm sure it'll take a while.
Sure. Works for me. So, to end it for the evening, so we can have it here. We want to do a quick wrap up. We thank everyone for hanging out for the evening. There's only so much the group can truly do without all 6 of them present as they stare down the feelings of Pagaminmos. With this being said, I will say here. You all begin to make way back to the mayoral home here and found within the small, frigid city of Risska. You look it over and you can see it is constructed of various both stone and metalwork, but as well heavy set bone. There is a massive mammoth skull that sits atop the mayor's building and two heavy tusks that line the entryway to it. As you all approach, you can hear rustling and rumbling. There is small cracking in the stone around the mayoral home, and almost as if summoned otherworldly, you hear a hissing sound echo out from the mayoral home upon your approach. You hear small rumbling, and slowly something begins to brew further and deeper within the mayoral home here within the Riskin city. But we'll find out about the mayor next time on Second Wake, next Monday. Hopefully we shall see everyone yet here again. For those of you who stuck with us throughout the entirety of our broadcast, we do thank you. A very heavy RP episode with not as much combat, but a looming battle to the death, perhaps in the future, of the Seekers of Galanti. Tune in and find out who wins, the dragon with the unbreakable record, or the adventurers who have yet to face true defeat. Tune in, find out. I don't know. I've been Kareem Samir. They've been the Seekers of Galanti. This has been Second Wake. We'll see you next time. Peace out.